Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors. Mark Buehrle's got a perfect game going to the ninth. All right, hey guys, this is AJ Unlimited here to bring you another video. And I decided that since this weekend is like, I don't know, like the 14th anniversary of Mark Buehrle's perfect game that took place on, I believe, Thursday, July 23rd, 2009. I witnessed it live. I wasn't there. I watched it on TV. But it was probably the single most stressful / exciting day of my life. And I decided to do just a little homage, make a video talking about it, and tip my hat to Mark Buehrle, and just kind of let it all out and how I felt watching the game, and I guess before, during, and after, and just how it just changed my life. Like, I mean, it was just that impactful to me. I don't even know how to really word it any different, but I'm gonna basically just jump right into it here. So I actually was just sort of starting to become a White Sox fan when it happened. Matter of fact, I think I kind of like was just sort of starting to watch bits and pieces of the games in like 2008, and I knew some of the players, but not all of them. And we had actually gone to my very first White Sox game in 2008, but that's not important. 2009 was actually the year that I really blew up as a White Sox fan. Like, that was the year that I was like tuning in to all the games, getting to know all the players, and they were like really good back then too. Like 2009 through, I would say, I don't know, 2013, 2014, they were kind of on a roll, from what I remember. But 2009 was like, like the year that was the time to be alive for me. That was like the year that they were really getting real good, and I was like, I was becoming like obsessed with the team. Like, I was basically eating, breathing, sleeping, thinking about like Chicago White Sox like all the time. So this was like right in the dead center of the year, obviously July. And I remember it was summer vacation. I didn't have school, but I was in marching band, so I did have like marching band. It was like later on. It was like 6 o'clock p.m. And this game started at like 1. So I did not start watching the game right away. I was just kind of hanging out in my bedroom in the basement. I got a call from my mom. And at the time, my mom had owned a Catholic gift shop, but she had a TV in the back room. And, Catholic gift shop says it all. It's probably like not super crazy busy all the time. There's a lot of downtime. It gets boring. So she had a TV in a, like, whatever, a little like kitchen kind of area. So I guess she was watching the game, and I received a call from my mom. I don't know what time of the day it was. It's probably like 2:30, 3 o'clock. And she was like telling me, like, she was like freaking out. She was like, Alex, Mark Buehrle's throwing a no hitter. Like, you have to turn on the game, turn it on, turn it on, turn on the game. I'm like, okay, cool. And like, okay, great. So I went upstairs, and my brother just so happened to be like just hanging out in the kitchen. And I was just kind of like, where's the remote? Like, when, like, we gotta turn the TV on, we gotta turn the game. Apparently Mark Buehrle is throwing a no hitter. And it was like, okay, cool. So we turned on the TV and changed the channel to the game. And I don't know, it was probably like the fourth or fifth inning at this point. The inning had ended, and they showed all the stats, the runs, hits, and errors, and walks and such. And he was like, Alex, this isn't a no hitter. This is a perfect game. And I'm like, okay, I don't even know what that, like, what's the difference? I don't know what that means. And he just said, well, it's a no hitter, just no hits. But no, a perfect game is like nobody gets walked on the opposing team. Nobody, obviously, there's no errors, nothing. Like, nobody gets on base at all. It's like incredibly rare. Like, this is like as big of a deal, if not bigger than World Series type of thing. So I was like, okay, well, shoot. I mean, now, things are getting interesting. And we were watching, and it was like, I don't know, it was just kind of like one of those things. I was watching, and I was like, hey, cool, yeah, we're doing great. And then it's like the fifth inning, then the sixth inning, then the seventh inning. And I remember right around the seventh inning, I was like, okay, now it's getting real. Now it's getting to the point where, like, if he doesn't pull this off, I will be very upset. Like, before the seventh inning, I would have been like, whatever. Like, probably wasn't meant to happen anyway. But we're in the seventh inning, and there was, like, all kinds of crazy things happening. Like, people were hitting foul balls that were, like, just barely foul. Like, there was one specific one that was, like, just like barely outside of the line. It was insane. Like, and Hawk Harrelson was like going nuts. And then, like, there was one where I don't know, somebody hit a line drive right to, like, Gordon Ramsay. Geez Louise, Gordon Beckham. And that was actually when he was like, call your sons, call your daughters, because that was like the eighth inning, I think. But there was all kind of crazy plays like that. And I remember, yeah, just watching it, and I was like literally like doing this because I couldn't, like, the suspense was killing me. Every damn pitch was just like I couldn't, like, I was holding my breath. Oh, and the other thing too I wanted to bring up was that it was a very, very oddly managed game because like Josh Fields was playing first when that's normally Paul Konerko, and like Gordon Beckham was on third, which at the time I think was Joe Creedy. So there's all kinds of crazy like switcheroos going on, but everybody was just like killing it. Everybody was playing their position like perfectly and like doing their job, and it was great. I do remember it was like we were going into like the eighth or ninth inning. It was very late in the game, and I was just kind of like, please God, like Mark Buehrle, he's like a good guy. Like, please let him have this, you know. So then we go into the ninth inning, and the ninth inning of this game was just so crazy. Specifically, but not limited to the catch that Dwayne Wise made. Now, Dwayne Wise was a very, very young player at the time. In fact, I think he had just been promoted or whatever to major leagues in 2008. So he was very young, very new, probably still a rookie. And they had put him in center field. Carlos Quinn, I think. Yeah, because I think Scott Podsednik was in center field for the whole game. And then they put Podsetnik in left, put Dwayne Wise in center. I don't know why. Nobody knows why. They say it was like it was like the best managed game, or like in the top of the best managed games in all of baseball history. God bless Ozzie Guillen. So it was like 0 outs, top of the ninth, and what's his face? Gabe something, I think, hit a deep, fly ball in the left center field, and we were watching it. And, to be honest, like, the way that it was angled, the way the camera was showing it, it didn't look like it was that deep to me when I was, at that age. I don't know if it's like a perception thing, maybe I was just in denial, but it didn't look like it was hit that deep. So I'm like, oh, he's just gonna snatch it out of thin air or whatever. And like I just saw him running, and he kept going further back, and he hit the wall, and it was like slow motion. Like, he hit the wall, and he jumps, he snow cones the ball, which means he like catches it in the tippy top of his baseball glove, and like sort of like kind of juggles it, like does a roll. He rolls, does like a little somersault thing, and then comes up with it. And like Hawk Harrelson is going nuts. Like, the stadium is going nuts. Like, me and my brother are like, holy shit, what? Like that was it. That was almost it. Like, ninth inning, and this guy almost knocked it out of the ballpark. And it was just like the most, like, in Dwayne Wise had to cover a lot of ground to get to this ball, like a lot. He's in shape. I'll give him that. So that was like, wow. Like, everybody in Chicago is like, heart is pounding right now. So that was amazing. And then the second out of that inning was a strikeout, and Hawk Harrelson is his famous, he gone, it was, he gone, one to go. It was beautiful. It couldn't have been any better. And then the final out, I'm going to get emotional here because it was just that amazing watching it. Remember, it was 2-1 count, and it was like, I think Steve Stone said something like the hottest hitter on this team, which was the Rays, I should mention that, the Tampa Bay Rays, is like standing between Mark Buehrle and perfection. It's like someone got to put that on a t-shirt. Yeah, it was a 2-1 count, and he hit the ball, and I just remember, oh man, I'm reliving it. I remember watching it, like, just travel. But you do, it's like you kind of know where it's going. It's going straight to the shortstop, Alexi Ramirez. But it's like, obviously, it's going in slow motion, and I'm watching it live. I don't know, anything can happen. So it's going straight to Ramirez. He picks it up, and Hawk is like, Alexi! And then he just launches it over to Josh Fields on first, beats the guy by a mile, and everybody's just going nuts. And my brother and I both, like, just without thinking, simultaneously in unison, like, jump up and like high five each other, and we were like in full blown celebration mode. It was like, and then of course my mom like is calling us, and we're just like, like we just what did we just witness? Like, this is holy cow. And Hawk is like, history. That was probably the top 5 most exciting moments of my life, other than, like, I don't know. I did witness the World Series, the White Sox winning the World Series in '05, but I was so young, I didn't know what was going on. The only other moment in my life that trumps that moment is when I was actually at a game. I think it was earlier in the year. It was 2009. We had a seats in right field, and it was like, I don't even remember. All I know is that AJ Brzezinski, I don't remember the score, but I remember AJ Brzezinski, who was my favorite player at the time, hit a tying home run. It was like a 2-run homer, like right in front of us. And that was like, you could actually see me on TV because we recorded it. And you can actually see me jumping up and down, like in sheer joy and excitement. And that was amazing. And Jim Thome actually hit his 550th in that game too, which was very exciting as well. And they won that game like 5-2 or something. That was just the most exciting day of my life. But that witnessing Mark Buehrle's perfect game, especially that final out, the final inning for that matter, was just so like my brain didn't know how to like comprehend that level of awesomeness. I just remember like sitting in my family room, and it was like the game was over, and the highlights were playing, and like it was all over the news, and we were just sitting there taking it all in. And I was just like, I gotta tell, I need to tell someone this. Like, I need to talk about this. And I didn't really know anybody in school that was like, into that, like the White Sox and stuff. There's like a couple of people, but I, later on when I went to marching band that night, nobody really cared. But it was just like, that was all that was on my mind. I didn't care about anything else. That feeling of just like euphoria, like all day long, all week long. I remember, I mean, as a little kid too, it was just like, I'll never experience something like that again. Not in that, like, just like it was just the right time and place, and everything was perfect. Mark Buehrle just became my favorite pitcher after that, just because, so much so that I had named my dog after Mark Buehrle, named her Burley. And we got that dog in late 2013. She actually passed away to 2021. But we named her Burley, and it was like the perfect name for this dog. It's just one of those things where it was like perfect name, perfect dog. It was match made in heaven. I know it was a long time ago, but every single time I think about it or tell that story, I can't help but tear up a little bit. It's just like, I just remember it was just so, you can't understand something like that unless you experience it. I can't put it into words. But that's all. I just wanted to tip my hat to that, because I've never really like made a video on that or anything. I've never really talked about it like publicly or I've just on social media and stuff, I've shared some things on Facebook, but I just wanted to, I felt like it was like sort of, I owed him that, owed him this. So I don't know, I guess Mark Buehrle, if you're out there somewhere, if you somehow in some way stumble across this video, I love you, and I hope you're doing well. I mean, last time I checked, he was like playing for the Blue Jays or something, but that was, 7-8 years ago. So I have no idea what he's up to now. I haven't even thought about checking, but it's okay. Doesn't matter. I witnessed basically the peak of his career. It's actually pretty cool too, because like the very next game they played was actually an away game. I don't remember who they were playing, but they were traveling, and Mark Buehrle was pitching, and he didn't give up a hit till like the fourth or fifth inning. It was nuts, and I think he actually hit a home run that game because he was batting. Normally, pitchers in the American League don't bat, but they were playing a team in the National League. So, again, I don't know what team it was. But Mark, I don't know what kind of, I'm sure you received some sort of awards for all of that. I don't know, but I mean, geez, what a guy. What a career. So that's all. That's the video. Obviously, feel free to comment below any kind of like super cool sports moments you guys have witnessed, whether it was just live on TV or in person. And I love this stuff. So, feel free, let me know. So that's all. So thank you guys once again very much for watching this. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, you know what to do. Please like, subscribe, comment, email me. It's all there in the channel. If you want to reach out to me in any way, I'm always checking that stuff. So feel free. And that's it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, I will see you next time. God bless.